So continuing the Roblox, the drama, the actual creator of a lot of these Roblox Predator videos, Schlepp, decided to sue Roblox and made an entire video with Chris Hansen. Now, like I said before, I think Chris Hansen needs to pack it up, okay? You've been doing this for too long. You've messed up investigations before by trying to exploit them for entertainment. I think you're kind of a little bit, but Schlepp, you know, I'm excited for Schlepp to take down Roblox. Those that don't know, essentially, in summary, Roblox has been peddling and protecting child predators for a while. They went after this YouTuber Schlepp, who's made videos kind of exposing the improper systems and channels that Roblox has and how ineffective they are at reporting this stuff to authorities and actually getting it banned and taking child safety seriously. And so Roblox responded by banning all of his accounts and threatening to sue him because he asked them to improve child safety. Fire company, actually. Shout out to Roblox. Like, what the f? So we're gonna watch Schlepp's video responding to Roblox threats of legal action.
Roblox isn't a place where we filter all the text and the voice, where we monitor for critical harms, where there's no image sharing or any of the things that might happen from that.
I want to start off by saying that we all want to keep Roblox safe. We share this view, and we know that there's members of our community who feel strongly about that too.
All right, this cinematic intro was eating though. I'll give it to them. This is he cooked with this.
I want to highlight
This reminds me of when Fortnite made that post telling the App Store to go like themselves essentially. Looks exactly the same.
We've innovated with age estimation on our own because we want to keep people on our platform.
This whole situation is kind of crazy.
Everybody go donate to this boy Schlepp.
This is probably the worst decision this company has ever made.
Hashtag free Schlepp on God. Yeah, they actually need Schlepp.
I'm wishing Schlepp the best.
Roblox, you need to do something.
There's got to be something done.
Nobody at Roblox listens to us. I'm frustrated, man. I'm frustrated.
Why should we support a platform that is taking steps to prevent predators from getting caught?
Benji!
Roblox has just lost $12 billion in market value following their response to their cease and desist letter against me. Just for context, I'm someone who's gotten 6 predators within their community arrested in real life. That loss, though, isn't on me. It's a direct result of Roblox's own response to its child safety crisis. Instead of addressing the real issues, Roblox has doubled, tripled, even quadrupled down. They've put out statements after statements painting me and my team as reckless vigilantes while claiming that their platform is safe, when it absolutely is not. People are just seeing through this, and that's why a huge movement has started online called Free Schlepp. It's been trending everywhere. Multiple members of Congress have now called out the company's
Now, also, congressmen using TikTok is so unserious. I ain't gonna lie, like, he's doing it. I know that's how you communicate with the youth, but like us reaching a point in society where like Congress people be using social media, it's just insane to me.
And the Attorney General of Louisiana has
his editor cooked, or if he edited this, he cooked.
And I quote,
"This is too good though. I feel like he has an editor."
Growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. The day after the Attorney General's lawsuit was filed, Roblox's market value dropped by $12 billion. In response, the company scrambled to roll out new policies targeting the very not safe for work games featured in the lawsuit and my videos, like for instance bathroom simulators. Mind you, the community has been calling out these games for years now, but still, even after everything, instead of removing these blatantly inappropriate experiences, Roblox simply slapped a 17+ label on them. They also launched a ban wave against some of the worst games they've knowingly hosted for years, games that have led thousands of children.
Yeah, and the thing that's like frustrating about this is like, you know, they're not banning the games because they wanted them banned. They're just banning them because they have bad PR right now. So it's like they're not even taking it seriously otherwise, unless it's like profit related. Like they didn't actually care about child safety prior. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not the point. So they're only doing this to show investors and be like, hey, we're doing better. We're actually taking this seriously. Like there's no way you're okay with predator content for 15 years and suddenly you're not. You're just sorry you got caught.
Getting extorted, and worse. Roblox's actions are nothing more than damage control for the problems they've allowed to fester when the entire community was screaming at them to fix these problems. And the community saw that killing the messenger was an act of war. Shortly after these changes, Roblox released a video so bad that it was community noted on Twitter twice. David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox, Matt Kaufman, the chief safety officer.
He looked creepy. I ain't even gonna lie. No. Like he looked like one of those dudes you would see like in a predator hunting video. I ain't trying to rag on, looks too much, but like, look at them eyes and them teeth, bruh. Like he looked like he's imagining me with my clothes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I'm a little bit uncomfortable.
Of Roblox, and Eliza Jacobs, the senior director of product policy, did a 45-minute tech talk. Most of this is just corporate jumbo, but they go ahead and respond directly to their vigilante policy. Before I show this, I want you to remember, I'm the only person that Roblox has targeted with this vigilante policy that they just created. Not even my team was moderated or given any legal letter. I begged for a clear line and even offered to keep much of my work private to help, and I'm no way obligated to do that, but instead they went straight after me, moderating my accounts and sending a cease and desist before I could even react to the policy. And let's be clear about one thing, I'm not a vigilante. That means I'm taking the law into my own hands. We work with law enforcement, which is why we have arrests. Roblox refuses to say my name because they'd have to acknowledge those arrests. But make no mistake, they're responding to the outrage, which is about me, and this is what they had to say about it. They first start off the interview by talking about how vigilantes started out as a good thing.
Both inside of Roblox, and I think that there are lots of people.
But why are you slapping the label vigilante on something that you see as good in the first place? Like, vigilante are viewed as like other entities. Like, they're not always a net bad and not always a net good, but they're always circumventing protocol. So the fact that you would come in and say like, oh, well, vigilantes were good at one point, and now you're saying that they're bad. Like, I just think even the terminology, if you're trying to be clear legally, is just insanely like broad.
Inside of Roblox, who really have
like, you're just changing the definition to suit your messaging.
Best intentions and the welfare of our community at heart. We all want to keep Roblox safe, and you know what? We welcome them in part of the dialogue about how to keep Roblox safer. And we have members of the community in these vigilante groups that started off in a really good place. They started off by saying like, hey,
if I was this lady, I'd be like, y'all not paying me enough to agree to this bullshit. I ain't even gonna lie.
They're reporting on issues on Roblox. They're talking about how we could do better. And you know, we paid.
I'd be on Twitter after this tweeting like, I was contractually obligated to join the live stream where they threatened to fire me. I have a family I need to feed. I'm sorry. Like, oh God.
Really careful attention.
This statement is just laughably hilarious. If Roblox is really paying attention, then what about when my mom emailed you guys about my own shooting case? What did you do then? Nothing. Actually, you kept paying the guy for years afterwards until you were literally forced to do something about it. If what Roblox was claiming was actually true, them listening to the community...
Wait, so his predator worked for Roblox?
Why are the biggest content creators leaving your exclusive YouTuber program in protest of how you're moderating your platform? And
well,
I'm gonna actually bring up something later in this interview to show you how much of a joke this is. This here is Meep City, one of the most controversial games on Roblox. Creecraft, one of the largest Roblox YouTubers, joined this game and within 4 seconds was exposed to not safe for work content. The community has been complaining about this game for almost a decade now, but Roblox has still continued to leave this game up and platform it. But CEO David Baszucki mentions this game by name, and here's their philosophy on this.
You know, I can see some of our community naming experiences on Roblox and just say, take it down, take it down, take it down. I'd say examples could be Meep City, for example.
You make me want to take my glasses off, bro. I don't want to look like you.
Should that be up? Should that be down? Like, what's up?
I think one thing that's
she got glasses too. Damn, I'm just keeping these off.
Global immersive
I don't even care to see. I don't want to see your ugly ass faces anyways.
Developers and creators and content created by the community, by the users that are in that game. And one thing that we really try to do.
Oh God, it looks like I got Gaussian blur turned up to like 11 right now. Like, what's going on?
Them for the behavior of their users.
How is this a crazy math problem? This is so simple. The creator of this game wants these people in their game. How is this even controversial? The developer is giving the tools to the player to make this inappropriate content. And that is the problem with Roblox. Roblox turns a blind eye unless the developers are blatantly making not safe for work games. And
yeah, like they don't deal with implied stuff, because here's the thing, I think legally they can get around that and being like, well, it's only bad if you look at it from a bad perspective. Okay, so like, did your prefrontal cortex develop like 30 seconds ago, sir? You cannot lie to us and act like you're so dumbfounded and not understanding implications. Yes, maybe legally it allows you to get away with a lot more because it's not directly stated to be A, B, or C, and it's not as black and white, so you can avoid moderating it. But if you want to operate under any ethics, you should just moderate it.
Even then, it is still on the line if Roblox will take action. Roblox might have just went back on their word regarding Meep City. This game had every inappropriate feature removed from it pretty much overnight. It's unknown if Roblox made Alex Neutron, the creator of Meep City, do this, but either way, it shows the public pressure.
Wait, how do they know the guy who made it? Also, is the creator of Meep City like a weirdo? Yeah, the creator of Meep City is a weirdo. Oh, he is.
Is working. Games that Roblox is doubling down on are folding. So that's why it's really important to keep speaking up about this.
Then we saw something change. What we saw is that some of these groups started engaging with the community in ways that violated our policies. And so let me explain what that means. They would go and create accounts on Roblox claiming to be—
You're getting paid like 6 figures a year to come up here and be like, yeah, we support predators. Like, that's crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. That is crazy. That is crazy. You netting like at least 400K a year to sit up here and like say some random jargon bullshit about how you okay with predators. Like,
child.
Roblox keeps repeating this same talking point, that I'm impersonating and pretending to be a child. But here's the reality. You have to pretend to be a child because if the predators knew they were talking to an adult, that wouldn't even be a crime. You guys seem to be more upset that I'm pretending to be a child than predators are decoys. And if it wasn't our decoys, it would be a real person. It's also worth noting that the FBI, ICAC, and local law enforcement all use these same exact tactics. Would Roblox be willing to send them a cease and desist too? And their claim that I'm impersonating children is flat out false. Impersonation means I'm stealing the identity of a real child. From the very beginning, we've never used real kids. We don't send pictures of real children, and we create totally new identities where every single photo that's sent is of someone that is of age. The only difference is we tell these people that we are underage. This is flat out a lie, what they're claiming. But what happens next is so wild.
Wait, so they were trying to frame him that he was sending actual inappropriate content instead of it being actually of age? That's insane.
CEO of Roblox cuts off the chief safety officer.
And then they would enter into game servers and they would go and start asking everybody around them, how old are you? And they were seeking out adults. If you said that you were, move on. But if you said that you were 25, then they would start engaging in conversations and they would try and use those conversations to simulate.
Matt, is this anecdotal? Because I know we have chat logs for all chat on Roblox and historical records. Are you able to kind of—
David, totally.
He said, hey buddy, you're going off script. The lawyers didn't approve this. The lawyers didn't approve this. You about to lose that 400K job, buddy. Come on now. Lock in. Read from the script. Why are you saying your own stuff, huh? Why are you giving your actual opinion? Why are you speaking out of turn, huh? Look at we gave you bullet points.
Wait, what, Matt Kaufman? Because it's not— David totally derails that conversation. That statement is probably the most wild made by Matt Kaufman in this whole interview. To simulate what, Matt Kaufman? Because it's not simulation. These are predators thinking that they're talking to someone that is real, and they a lot of times want to show up in person and do stuff to them in real life. And in my opinion, this shows how little Roblox actually cares about this problem. They can say whatever they want. They can talk about all the new safety features that they're rolling out, but it means nothing if lawsuits are being filed every single week against the company. And
imagine you on the news, you see this IMVU ass Roblox avatar. No, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, if I woke up at 10 in the morning and I saw this as the picture they're using to explain the Roblox issue, I would literally die laughing. Like, come on, man. Just use the logo and the default skin. Why you got the most yassified, dressed to impress IMVU ass looking? It's like you're not even taking it seriously yourself. Come on. Who we go? Some underpaid intern, they were like, find images of Roblox. We're too old. We don't know what that is. And they were just like, damn, bet. The screenshot of their dress to impress win. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna really stunt on these hoes. Like, just
company, and headlines are making the media about a new horrible situation happening because of this platform. I also want to say how they totally mischaracterize how I run my decoy operation. We are never the first to engage with any of the predators. They always contact our decoy account first.
So we saw these actors, they're pretending to be kids, they're trying to find adults, and then what they're doing is they're trying to move
You can never pretend to be a kid with that hairline.
as quickly as possible to other platforms that don't have the type of monitoring and policies that Roblox has. And then they were using that activity that happened on other platforms to create situations that they would then video, they would report to the police, and then only after would they let Roblox know.
Roblox is accusing me of encouraging adults to talk inappropriately to people they shouldn't. That is not true, and if it—
He's getting them arrested. What encouragement? And also, you're acting as if this, instead of a decoy, if it was a real person, the person wouldn't speak the same. Like, you can't coerce a predator into becoming a predator. So then, like, what are you talking about? The predator wanted to do it prior.
If it was true, I wouldn't have a single arrest. We present ourselves as a naive kid who doesn't know about these topics. Crimes like this should obviously be reported to law enforcement first, not Roblox. If Roblox is notified before the police, they can delete accounts, tip off the predators that are being investigated, and give them a chance to erase valuable evidence that the police need to
Yeah, I genuinely think alerting the police is better too.
The fact that these predators are on the platform to begin with shows that their safety systems have failed. If Roblox did their jobs, there wouldn't be anybody for us to find. Roblox also claims that I'm moving these players to other platforms, but those platforms are linked directly on Roblox's own site. Roblox has actually even partnered with some of those platforms.
Wait.
They even own a bot on that other platform. Anyone can make an account 13+ and see social media links on Roblox. And unsurprisingly, people in real life have been abducted because of this feature that Roblox
I don't think if you're a child platform, you should have any features like this, bro. I really don't. I think you should just have the little in-game chat that's just censored, and that's it. I don't think there should be DM messages. I don't think there should be any social networking. I don't think there should be profiles. I don't think that should be a thing. Because if people that are old enough to play the game that want these social features will make a community elsewhere. They will make a Discord server for these sort of things. Like, I play games, like for example, Final Fantasy 14. That game is aimed for like adults or people that are like 16 and up. Mostly it's adults though. But there's communities on Discord for all sorts of things that will run like entire raids with like 50 people at a time. And like every time they happen in the game because the players want to do so. And people will do that if that's the case. So you can't say you're like a child first platform if you're enabling all of these adult features with serious consequences.
And when they say I'm creating these situations, that's just insulting. I'm not creating situations. These predators are trying to grab people within your community.
And there's a bunch of issues in here. Number one, the violation of our policies about being honest about how old you are. Number two, moving conversations off platform. And number three, waiting.
Okay, but if you don't want conversations moved off platform, then why are you partnered with other chat messenger services like Discord and make it where if your account's 13+, you can see other social media platforms? You literally have features that encourage this, and now you're in your little press statement saying that that's against your terms of service. So what is it? Do you want to promote it or do you want to ban it? Because you're saying you want to ban it while actively having it as a feature.
Tell Roblox,
you just want to cover face,
identified violative behavior, to come and tell us so we could take action.
In Matt Coffin's own words, in articles about vigilantes, he said law enforcement officials are best positioned to investigate potential crime. So why is he criticizing us for going to the police first? And it's not like we're not even reporting these things to Roblox. We do. We give Roblox the same Google Drive that we give to the cops. They have the first chat log till the very end where they're in handcuffs. And we have numerous fully documented instances where Roblox refused to take action until after we released videos that got millions of views. Also, waiting to tell Roblox in general is a policy violation? If you were on Roblox and went straight to the authorities instead of reporting it to Roblox first, could you technically be violating Roblox's terms of service?
So we're gonna ban you because, instead of going to us with our little Looney Tooney moderation, that with the head guy that plays the Predator games, screw your little police investigation. That we need the evidence first so that we can clear the logs for our investors. Because we take your concerns seriously. And by your concerns, we mean our top dollar.
I think some of these groups started off in a really good place, and they started off, really, and they still do really care about the community. the actions that they were taking were putting our community at greater risk and were violations of our policy.
But the tools that allow them to take these actions are still in place and allowed on your platform? Make it make sense. If you facilitate an environment that allows thing A to happen and you punish someone for pointing out that thing A happens and doing thing A to prove that it happens, you don't care about your community. You care about your PR. You care about your brand, your image.
He says I'm putting the community at risk. Roblox even went as far to accuse me and my team of being similar to predators. Think about that. They're implying I am preying on predators. So to Matt Kaufman and David Bazuki, I'm very sorry for preying on the predators of your platform and getting them arrested and put in handcuffs, because I didn't ever want to see kids go through what I went through.
These actors that were coming on the platform.
Also, aren't you in these little predator ass games too, sir? So what's really good, huh?
We're reaching out to dozens and dozens of people, and the vast majority of those people were not responding to those engagements. And frankly,
you could not pay me enough to be this lady. I'm sorry. I know she doesn't agree with what's happening here. I know she just has to, but like, you could not pay. Like, I'm sorry. I'm on Twitter after this, like being like, I don't support any of this. On my LinkedIn, I'm at a little message.
We're harmed in that process.
I'm gonna show you this predator I caught. I sent a message in the chat and I got this guy messaging me.
Yes, okay, how old are you? I ask him back how old he is, and he says he's older than 18. I tell him I'm years old. Do you mind me being younger? No, not really. If you can keep it a secret between us, though. And he does Predator Strat 101. He asks for my Snap or Discord. And the reason why he's asking for Snap is because the messages delete. I tell him Discord, and I get on Discord with him, and the messages begin right away.
Throughout that entire process, where did I harm anyone? Because the real harm was Roblox letting this game exist on their platform for years. It only disappeared after Hindenburg, an investment research firm, went ahead and exposed Roblox for hosting this experience. And conveniently, it vanished the moment they showcased this predator catch. Notice as well how I wasn't the one to ask for Discord or Snapchat. The predator did. These were the sort of people interacting with our decoys, and so many people are becoming victimized from people exactly like this.
They were normalizing policy violations on the platform.
What? Roblox's own algorithm recommends inappropriate items to people. Roblox
Pooped white gum.
Not safe for work games for children. Roblox themselves in this interview doubled down on one of the most infamous instances of inappropriate behavior that they've allowed for nearly a decade, and they're really going at me for normalizing policy violations. Absolutely unbelievable.
And the other piece is, oftentimes the sort of evidence that was collected, the video evidence, was really difficult to verify, really difficult for us. And if law enforcement had to verify it, then they're talking about subpoenas. And so I think something that sometimes...
So you're worried about getting subpoenaed? Bro, all subpoena means the law enforcement can backdoor into your systems and look at what the hell is going on. Why are you so scared of that? Unless you're protecting stuff intentionally. The reason you're scared of getting subpoenaed is because you know you legally have to report this stuff and you're not doing it. Why? But why is getting subpoenaed? Like, that should not concern you if you're operating ethically at all. Like, I wouldn't be scared to get audited by the IRS because I'm not committing tax fraud. Sure, it might be a little bit of a headache, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried it's going to come out on the other end and screw me over. But you seem very worried about getting subpoenaed. Interesting.
Seems obvious to folks in the community, really is just much more complicated on the back end.
I'm not sure how
I understand getting screenshots in a Google Drive. Maybe you can't verify as evidence. But here's the thing. I don't know how extensive he is. But if he were to give you timestamps, the game, and the username, and you claimed earlier in the video, you have chat logs for everyone, you can easily in your system look up the unique username and the timestamp and find the chat logs. You definitely have an index and a search engine for that. It's not that difficult, bro. Looking for that would not be that hard because you have unique identifier usernames. So if they gave you the timestamp, the game, I guarantee you could find it. So even if you have screenshots, maybe you can't verify off-platform activity, sure. But the fact that you were able to facilitate them even going off-platform, which you claim earlier is against your policy. You can't go off-platform, right? You're not allowed to. So they went off-platform, then ban them for that. Because you banned the creator for going off-platform.
Evidence that I was sending you guys was hard to verify. I sent you guys screen recordings of us scrolling through the entire chat on mobile, and a lot of the stuff that happens
thanks for the gift
is
to Carlucci.
happening
Appreciate
directly
you.
within Roblox. Like, for instance, when Roblox refused to ban this predator, we got arrested in Hawaii, and he was literally talking in-game about planning the meetup in real life on Roblox. With all that being said, I wanted to ask someone who's been working with law enforcement and has been doing predator catching since before I was even born. So I decided to take a seat with Chris Hansen to catch some answers.
I'm Chris Hansen. I'm co-founder and correspondent reporter for the True Blue Streaming Crime Network. We do a lot of crime and investigative reporting. Our Takedown series, which exposes predators trying to exploit children online. And we also work on a number of documentaries, including this particular project exposing the
How old is he now? He look old.
I wanted to ask you about some of the
He's given,
comments
like,
that Roblox
70.
has specifically stated about like predator catching.
Okay,
One of the
is
main
this out of
complaints
pocket?
Is
this out of pocket? Wait, guys. Okay, I know this is like bad. Maybe I shouldn't say this. I was just going to say Schlepp is a cute dude, bro. W him. You know what I'm saying? You look nice. I was just going to give my man a compliment, but I feel like this is a weird video to do that on. You know what I'm saying? My fault.
catching. One of the main complaints is pretending to be a child. I want to know your answer. It's kind of obvious, but the importance of using decoy accounts to just find different predators.
Well, we couldn't do it without using decoy accounts. In the very beginning, we had an online watchdog group, Perverted Justice, do that work. And now, and for the last several years, it's been members of law enforcement who have posed as children online, merely sitting in one of these areas.
This guy got cheated with his wife. Wait, I didn't know that.
Seeking to exploit children. And then the conversation takes place. It all happens according to the law. And then that gets turned over. Now, I understand that anytime somebody is not with law enforcement, it gives pause to a corporation. It's like, okay, here's this kid. We don't know whether he's following the rules properly. We don't know if he's running this by a lawyer. Maybe you could...
Which is why I'm not always a fan of third parties getting involved, because like I said, sometimes they can mishandle evidence, which will completely derail an investigation and make the evidence void because it's been tampered with. Chris Hansen has been accused of doing, so I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I don't think it was a malicious thing. I just think it's like, you have to be very careful.
Argue that they just don't want that sort of activity on their platform, but you think they'd be more worried about the activity that you're exposing.
That's what I've been trying to get at this whole time.
Let's worry about that, number one, and then you can have a conversation with young Schlepp. I mean, if I were the CEO of Roblox, I would make you an ambassador for security. I would get out in front of this thing and do what would be a fantastic promotional move. I'm a little dumbfounded that they haven't figured it out, given that these guys...
Y'all know the meme of like the crying eyes, like the PNG? Tell me why Chris Hansen's eyes don't look like this. Yo, I'm sorry. Okay, listen. Like, my fault. Yo, this is my ADHD. My brain's wandering.
I would make you an ambassador for security. I would get out in front of this thing and do what would be a fantastic promotional move. I'm a little dumbfounded that they haven't figured it out, given that these guys are in the high-tech world who invented this stuff in some ways. Why don't they get ahead of it and get a young guy on their team?
That's
what I'm doing with you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's not that hard to figure out. I learned a long time ago that if you're not listening to the youngest guy or girl in the room, you're missing opportunity. You have to evolve and you have to keep on top of this technology, and you have to bring new ideas into the room to do your job.
That's true.
My job is to expose bad people.
That's a bar, actually. If you're not listening to the youngest person in the room, you're missing out on ideas.
The thing is, I made it very, very clear to
Because when you grow up, society literally kills your creativity. It beats it into you that like it's unorthodox and you need to conform.
The beginning, give us a private
line.
That's a bar. We are open to communicate with you. We want to talk with you guys. We know a lot of these really bad actors, and the first official contact I had with them was the cease and desist letter.
It's horrible from a public image standpoint. I mean, you're killing the messenger, right? It's not like you're out there tracking these guys down with, tasers and smoke guns. I mean, you're providing information to the platform to do something about it.
One of the major complaints that Roblox had about me was that I was actually going to law enforcement first before
which is
sending
still
the report,
crazy.
just so that they
I'm
would have
saying
a
this is
start to
insane
finish
to me.
conversation of
Like,
everything
actually
that took
some of the
place.
most
Did you
baffling
guys ever reach out to
I've
social
ever
media
heard.
sites before the sting goes down?
No, we always go to law enforcement. We work with law enforcement in every sting we do. And that is to ensure a successful prosecution. That's why the prosecution rate in these stings is, like 99.1%. It's law enforcement first, then they can deal with the corporation. The corporation should be more concerned about reporting what it finds to law enforcement to investigate.
I'm going to read to you a quote from Roblox's corporate blog describing our operations. Similar to actual predators, they often impersonate my actively approach users and then try to lead them onto different platforms to have sexually explicit conversations. We obviously do not talk to these predators. We don't impersonate real children. Our decoys are, adults.
Well, I think if they're mischaracterizing what you're doing, that's wrong. Based upon what you said to me, you don't actively bait these guys in terms of making the first approach. You merely set up a profile as somebody who's underage, and you exist in that room until an adult approaches one of your decoys. Then if conversation takes place, they get exposed, and that information gets turned over to law enforcement. And in many cases, they do something, and then you report that both on your platform as a citizen journalist, a young guy working on these stories, and to Roblox to take action as a corporate citizen.
I thought it was kind of wild how they compared what we're doing to actual predators.
Well, if they're mischaracterizing what you're doing, yeah, that's horrible. This entire project is going to be healthy for Roblox, and it's going to be especially good for users of Roblox, because anything that creates awareness and a dialogue is important. And you need to tell parents that this stuff exists, that these dangers are out there, and that if your child is approached by a predator, they need to come to the parents. I mean, that's the first line of defense.
Yeah, and parents need to stop punishing their children for being approached by these predators. Like I said this before, but I want to say it again because I think it's really important. If you are a parent and your first response when a kid comes to you, that is your child, and is like, hey, this happened with this guy on Roblox. Even if it's brought up casually because they might not know it's bad. Yeah, I've been sending explicit pickets to Ron. Who's Ron? Oh, like some 30-year-old who gives me money. And you if your first reaction is to get mad at your kid and then take away all of their privileges or social media, they're not going to be open with you about what's going on for you to fix the problem. They're instead just going to lie to you and still engage in the behavior and hide it from you. And then buddy up with their predator, maybe tell the predator, my parents are being so mean. The predator's going to come for them. Their bond with the predator is going to grow, and their bond with the parent is going to slowly dissolve. Like, you have to be careful with the way you handle it, because you're essentially helping them isolate your kid more if you punish the kid when they're vulnerable about something that they might not know is wrong, instead of informing them.
Treat what I do, and it's really great that law enforcement and the National Center for Missing and
I think so many parents get that wrong.
It's great that Roblox has a department that takes a look at some of this stuff. What's not great is the lack of connection here that could make it even better and safer. Until that happens, we have to show parents what goes on here, and they have to have the discussion with kids and say, hey, be careful.
What made you interested into getting into Roblox?
I was personally getting communications on social media saying, you need to look into this, you need to look into this, you need to look into this. And then we saw a big case down in Florida where a guy was arrested in Central Florida for actually giving them Robux and having them exploit siblings and other. It made headlines down in Marion County, Florida. And so I started digging into it. We had good contacts with that sheriff's department there. And we actually, ironically, just did a predator sting, a takedown sting down there. So we started with an interview there. And it turns out that in the same jurisdiction, there was a 10-year-old girl who was exploited on Roblox by a man all the way over in England. And so we interviewed that victim's mother, and all of a sudden all these cases started developing, including the lawsuit by the Attorney General in Louisiana.
It's interesting you mentioned Florida, because we got an arrest there. We got it in Polk County, and it was a guy who possessed.
Polk County, as you know, is where Sheriff Grady Judd is, and they're very active in this space.
Oh, yeah.
We do work with them as well. First of all, it breaks my heart, and I'm so sorry that you had to deal with this as a younger guy on this particular platform. The fact that you were bullied and preyed upon and advantage of, and that it went to the extent it did, it breaks my heart. And this is why we do these investigations. But to see you at your age outrage, turn it into a positive and do something about it, I think is incredible and admirable.
Thank you. I appreciate
From a guy
it.
who's been kicking around doing this for 42 or 43 years now, it's really cool because when I started on television, I was your age. I was 22 years old. So when I see a young person do this kind of work, it's very impressive to me because I know what it takes.
Yeah, I mean, it's very crazy when you start looking into this stuff. I mean, it's a rabbit hole. It only gets more disturbing the more you see. And
well, you know, and since we announced that we're doing this documentary and that you are collaborating, I am overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, I saw a tweet on Twitter. It got like 160,000 likes that you're just even looking into the platform. Because that's the thing.
They all be
people
using that
have
same
known
image of him
about
too,
these
from Chris
issues for
Hansen,
so
that
long,
one like
but
Getty
journalists
image, bro.
haven't done
What a guy.
enough to like really look
That's
into
like the
it. And
PNG
now
for
it's
him.
starting to break into the world where everybody is starting to start to be aware.
Well, now you're seeing more mainstream, outlets cover it. And
Yeah.
Look, we have the ability to infiltrate this world because we've been doing it for 21 years. First with To Catch a Predator, and for the last 2.5 years at True Blue, our streaming crime network, with Takedown. So we know how to do this and work with law enforcement. Now, a lot of people can go out and do this stuff independently, but here you are, a good example of somebody who has done the work and given it to law enforcement. And that's the key here, because if you expose these guys and make fun of them and do a
See, like, I don't like this Vitaly, like this random bullshit, because they just find these guys in public that have a registry record and just beat them up on camera, which doesn't do anything. And the only people that watch this stuff are sick people, in my opinion, who want to watch people get beat up, regardless of who it is. You just want to watch a stranger get beat up on camera. You don't really care if they did bad. I think this content is dystopian and it's weird. I don't think it leads to anything productive.
rat kind of thing, like some other content creators.
He's saying he doesn't approve of this, Chris Hansen is. But yeah, this is the thing where they'll find the guy and they'll just basically torture them in the store, like cartel victims, kind of, on camera, and embarrass them. And the thing that also is scary about this is, who knows if they're even properly verifying if these people are actually predators. Do you know what I'm saying? Hell, you can be on a registry list sometimes for stuff that isn't even your fault. I'm not saying this to defend anyone on a registry list, but there have been cases where people have hacked into people's computers and implanted inappropriate content on them and then reported them to the police because they wanted to just with the person. So I feel like this sort of thing is like not productive. And also, what does beating up the guy on camera do? Is he gonna harm less children? Does that help the victims? No, you just want to beat someone up on camera, have an excuse to do it so people aren't mad at you, and you think there's a bunch of sick people that watch it. That's why I don't like platforms like Kick and stuff. They encourage all this dystopian degeneracy.
They often don't face the consequences. They don't have to register as a offender. They don't get prosecuted.
Yeah, and I think
they don't. A lot of times they also don't get prosecuted. They just beat them up on camera and leave them there. Okay, great. What does that do? They can just reoffend.
The reason why I have to make this content is because
and they don't even go to the
we
police.
Reach out to Roblox, we give them the emails, we give them all the information. They don't respond until after we publish a video that gets millions of views on YouTube. It makes me concerned because if we're getting that, what are real victims getting?
Look, I understand a little bit Roblox situation here. What they're trying to do is follow the protocol. When they see something, they are mandated to report that to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which then refers it to law enforcement. And that's good, and they should be doing that. But why they wouldn't also take advantage
AMP in the Woods is enough to get put on a list? Wait, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, so see, like, I don't know.
of information given to them, wrapped with a bow around it, as you have done, it's stunning to me that they wouldn't see the opportunity here to be an ally of yours as opposed to somebody who they're making an example of and saying,
oh, for sure.
The rules, banning you. I don't understand that. From a corporate citizen aspect, it doesn't make sense. From a public relations standpoint, it doesn't make sense. And from a justice-seeking standpoint, it doesn't make sense. So I don't know, and I hope that during the course of this, that I'll get a chance to sit down with somebody at Roblox. And I have a feeling that's going to happen. But I'm going to be posing all of those questions when that interview takes place.
To young people who look up to you and see predators in online spaces, what is the single most important step that they can take to protect themselves?
I would be hesitant to tell people to conduct their own investigations, but I'm adamant that you got to report this stuff to your local law enforcement agency. You got to report it to the service provider. You got to report it to the platform. Hopefully, between those three things, you get some action. I think 15, 20 years ago, law enforcement would be a little overwhelmed by this and say, if you're in a small town, you go to the police department, say this happened, they say, okay, well, I'm not sure how to investigate it. Well, today, every department has the ability to investigate this stuff, and they are very willing to take these cases on.
It's an absolute honor to have Chris Hansen featured on this channel. Chris Hansen is flying me out soon to actually feature in his Roblox documentary about exploitation. With everything
Bro's
that
getting
we've
flued
learned
out by Chris Hansen.
so far, one question persists. Why did I get this cease and desist? I'll let this alleged former Roblox employee answer this question for you.
Oh, they got an insider.
You have to make a decision, right? You keep your players safe, but then it would be less of them on the platform. Or you just let them do what they want to do. And then all the numbers look good, and investors will be happy.
Oh, this is a quote from that legal document, isn't it?
You might just be thinking this is one alleged Roblox employee. Well, Bloomberg is claiming that 8 Roblox employees told a very similar story to this in 2024. Roblox actively forces victims of the platform into arbitration, a tactic so unethical that platforms like Uber and Lyft actually have policies against doing this. The reason they're doing it is even more outrageous. Because this person received so many benefits from using the platform, he cannot now complain that Roblox is trying to prevent him from seeking justice in court for the life-altering harm he suffered. Here's why I personally care so much about this problem.
Wait, what is arbitration? Am I dumb? Formal dispute, a third party. Oh, is it when you like have a formal dispute off the books?
Who's been offered free Robux to do something that was inappropriate in the game? Or someone has said, I'll give you some free Robux if you come and follow me on Snapchat or TikTok or something like that. Who's had that happen? Okay, loads of you.
I've seen a lot of corruption in big tech, but I've never seen a company.
That's horrifying, bro. Now, you see how many kids raise their hand?
Harm this many young people at the scale Roblox has. They can say whatever they want about safety or try to discredit me, but the arrests and their response to those arrests speak louder than any PR statement that they could possibly make. This isn't just about moderation. The rot goes all the way up to the CEO, a man whose vision includes adding dating to this platform and defending predatory games like Meep City. It's not even negligence, it's his literal philosophy. The narrative around Roblox needs to change. People have to understand what this platform actually is. Share what's happening, talk about it. Make sure your friends, parents, journalists, and lawmakers know how deep these problems run. Call your congressman and tell him you won't stand by while Roblox puts children in danger. I've been sounding the alarm for over a year as a whistleblower, and Roblox's leadership has tried to silence me. What needs to happen is David Baszucki needs to sit in front of Congress under oath, and he needs to explain.
Oh God, they need to treat you like they treated Mark Zuckerberg. They need a Mark Zuckerberg your ass. You need to be sitting in front of Congress looking all nervous and like built like an alien, sweating from your head to your toe, answering questions. Good sir.
So many people have been abducted and abused on his platform, and why his company is choosing profits over safety.
Like, oh God, that's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I bet your dad is the CEO of Roblox is now a valid insult. YouTube comments never fail to amaze me, bro. Oh God, they never fail. Hopefully, like, something comes of all of this. Like, hopefully something does come of all this, because I feel like it's insane to me that, like, this has been a thing for, like, so long.